John Ellis, $0 car, how big data will change transportation forever.
And John, there's a reason why we grab the speakers right when they come off the red carpet and capture that response and feedback. So how do you feel right now? How was your experience today?
It was really good. I speak a lot, but I was very stressed about this, and it's because I've idolized the TED stage for so many years. Malcolm Gladwell is probably by far the speaker that I most would strive to be like. And yeah, I put a lot of pressure on myself to hit this. Moreover, most of my talks are with slides. And so this one was a recitation of a story and a narrative without the slides. So it was all unique. And then I'm a big gesticulator and walker. I like to walk the stage. So standing in that circle, and I practice this, but standing in the circle is, and again, I moved, but it's just, my movements are big. I like to own the stage. And yeah, but I know this is about not me. It's about the idea. So, you know, I did it. Hopefully it went well. Hopefully people found it, you know, informational.
I think it went great. And a lot of people say this, and I'll have you speak to this a little further because you mentioned it already. What is it about a TEDx talk, the TEDx stage, a TEDx audience? What is it about that like heightens the seriousness for you?
You know, I mean, not to give any disrespect to the in-person audience, it's knowing that this is going to be out there forever. And that on a given day, somebody can download Don Tapscott, right? Growing Up Digital, and then potentially be referenced to me. And oh my gosh, I could potentially be compared to Don Tapscott. Holy crap. I grew up for the last 10 years, 8 years, I've been downloading and looking at videos. I take them on the plane with me. For a number of years while driving, I was doing the TED Radio Hour, NPR Radio.
Raj.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan. And so for me, I like presenting to an audience. I mean, I don't have to. I teach, so I'm used to teaching. That's fine. This was really about, you know, I know that there's people watching, and not just today, but tomorrow, the day after, and the day after that. And that is where the pressure comes, because it's like you're never off the stage, ever.
I love that. And let's talk a little bit about connection to the audience. I think this crowd is a little different because this crowd, this audience here today for TEDx Transportation feels particularly connected to what you have to say, the message, particularly yours, data and privacy. And everybody knows about what Google and all these guys are doing, right? But could you kind of sense that energy, sort of almost like you can see the thoughts from your brain? Let's talk about the connection to the audience.
Well, I mean, it's probably not fair for me to comment directly on that because I mean, I do work for the AAA. I'm not an employee. I have done work for them, and I know many of them in the audience. But what was really, it wasn't so much maybe the audience that I was connected to, but it was impressive to be like on the. I mean, there are some serious, powerful thinkers on that stage, and I am very blessed. But I'm very humbled to have been brought up and to be on it. And then more importantly, to be an opening part of like, so I opened this section of it. You know, that was like, holy crap, that was really cool. So yeah, that's the connection. But again, you know what? The audience was alive. It was good. The claps, they laughed where there was appropriateness. I mean, it was good. It was fun, right? It helped, you know. But you're right. I mean, I've been to other TED Talks where it's been totally different and the threads have been harder. Maybe because these threads aren't, that people are just like, okay, well, I expect to hear transportation stuff. So, you know, maybe I'm not as quick to respond to some of the different facts that are coming. Yeah. But it was interesting. It was good. I liked it. It was fun.
It was awesome. I like your energy here, John. Some people are like, you know, I don't know about being questioned again after they like this. So here's a final question for you, John. This is my favorite.
Okay.
And again, you do lots of talks, you teach, you're very familiar with this type of atmosphere. But again, now that you've finished up your red carpet and you're a TEDx speaker alone, so congratulations there. You've made it this whole road, the emails, the blogs, the videos, but sort of besides that, what advice do you have, what words of wisdom would you give to future TEDx speakers?
Wow. No wonder it's your last question. That's a tough one.
I love this question.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. I would probably boil it down. I'm a big person on the rule of three, so I'd boil it down to rule of three. Especially if you are a speaker. So if you're already a speaker, whether you're professional or not, if you speak regularly for your company or others, I might suggest to find, number one, this is unlike anything ever you've done. Sure, you may have spoken, you may have gotten paid, but this is unlike anything you've ever done, and it's exactly for the reasons I talked about. Your speech will live in infamy. It will be up, assuming you do as well as you do, it will be up with the greats. And that is totally different than anything else that ever is going to. So you got to treat this differently, would be number one. Number two is if you're a speaker and you normally use slides, don't. I went back and forth a lot on this thought because a lot of my presentations are the Steve Jobs. I'm a very Steve Jobsian style, pictures with a word or two to give you a visual. And in talking through this and looking, and again, like Malcolm Gladwell, the narrative's about him. The narrative's about his story. It's about the circle and what's coming out of that. And so after a long and personal debate, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go no slides. But what that then created is point number three, which is you gotta practice. You have to practice, because if you're a regular speaker, what you subconsciously learn is that the slides they're not crutches, but they're mechanisms by which to advance you through a story. And without them, without that visual impact, you have to remember that you are on stage for a story that cannot wander, that has to be tight, and it has to be delivered. And that is a bucket load harder than it sounds like or seems like 5 months or 6 months in advance when you're just getting a note saying, hey, welcome, you've been accepted as a TED speaker. Holy crap, and that time does fly.